History remembers pirates as fearless men, bearded, brutal, and lawless. But hidden beneath the waves of legend is a darker, quieter truth. There were women among the pirates, women who fought, commanded ships, and defied empires. And when they were captured, their fate was often far worse than death. This is not a romantic pirate tale. This is the untold aftermath. Because for female pirates, capture did not mean justice. It meant erasure, punishment, humiliation, or forced silence. Tonight, we uncover what truly happened to female pirates after capture and why history almost forgot them. Part 1. Why female pirates terrified empires. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the world was governed by rigid rules. Women were expected to obey, to remain invisible, to exist within carefully controlled boundaries. Piracy itself challenged law and empire, but female piracy challenged nature, at least according to the beliefs of the time. A woman who picked up a sword, fired a cannon, or commanded men at sea was considered unnatural, dangerous, and deeply threatening. Authorities feared female pirates not because they were weak, but because they proved women could survive and even dominate in a world built to exclude them. This fear shaped everything that happened after their capture. Part 2. Capture at sea, no mercy given. When pirate ships were intercepted by naval forces, the rules were simple. There were no trials at sea, no negotiations. Captured pirates were chained immediately. For women, the shock was even greater. Many female pirates disguised themselves as men. Some were only discovered after capture. When guards realized they had captured a woman, reactions ranged from disbelief to rage. To the authorities, a woman pirate was not just a criminal. She was a symbol of rebellion against social order, and rebellion demanded punishment. Part 3. Imprisonment, where history goes quiet. After capture, female pirates were held in coastal fortresses or colonial prisons. Unlike male pirates who were often executed quickly, women were kept longer. Why? Because authorities didn't know what to do with them. Women pirates didn't fit legal categories. They weren't soldiers. They weren't civilians. They weren't supposed to exist. During imprisonment, many were interrogated relentlessly. Their lives before piracy were scrutinized. Their relationships were questioned. Their morality was judged. History doesn't record their suffering in detail, not because it was mild, but because it was considered unimportant. Part 4. Public execution, a warning to all women. For many female pirates, execution was inevitable, but it wasn't carried out quietly. Executions were public spectacles. Crowds gathered, officials watched, messages were sent. The goal was not just punishment, it was deterrence. Authorities wanted every woman watching to understand one thing clearly. This is what happens when you step outside your place. Some women were executed immediately. Others were paraded publicly, dressed to emphasize shame rather than crime. Their deaths were meant to erase the idea that women could ever be pirates again. Part 5. Pregnancy and the plea of the belly. One of the few ways female pirates delayed execution was through a legal practice known as pleading the belly. If a condemned woman claimed to be pregnant, execution was postponed. This wasn't mercy, it was bureaucracy. The unborn child was considered innocent, even if the mother was not. Some women truly were pregnant, others were not. Either way, execution was rarely canceled. At best, it was delayed. Many women were executed shortly after childbirth. Others disappeared from records entirely, likely dying in prison, poverty, or forced labor. Part 6. Erasure from history. Here's the most disturbing part. Many captured female pirates were never recorded at all. Their names vanished. Their stories ended mid-sentence. Why? Because history was written by those who feared them. Male pirates became legends. Female pirates became mistakes to be forgotten. Some were forced into domestic servitude. Some were exiled. Some were married off against their will. And some simply disappeared. Not because they didn't matter, but because remembering them was inconvenient. Part 7. The Few Who Survived. A handful of female women survived capture, not because they were forgiven, but because they were useful. Some were turned into informants. Some were spared execution due to political pressure. Some vanished under new names. But survival came at a cost. They were forbidden from the sea, forbidden from telling their stories, forbidden from being remembered. Freedom was conditional, and silence was the price. Part 8. Why this story still matters. The fate of female pirates reveals something uncomfortable. History doesn't just punish rebellion, it punishes those who break identity rules. These women weren't executed solely for piracy. They were punished for proving women could survive without permission. Their punishment was designed to send a message across generations, and for a long time it worked. Until now. Conclusion. The silence is breaking. The sea did not erase these women. History did. But silence is fragile. Today, their stories resurface, not as legends, but as warnings. Warnings about power, about control, about who gets remembered. The female pirates didn't lose because they were weak. They lost because the world wasn't ready for them. And perhaps it still isn't. History tried to bury them, but the ocean remembers.